This is your weekend market review for Friday, June 13th, 2025. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for Friday, June 13th, 2025. Heart goes out to all the people in the Middle East, all the stuff that's going on in the world. Again, I hope all this gets resolved quickly. But as we all know, this stuff affects the market, so we got to talk about it. So again, heart goes out, prayers, be careful out there. And all right, so we know the market pulled back. The average pullback with this kind of stuff varies, right? I would think somewhere maybe between 2 and 5%. You know, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, expecting potentially. Now, again, I took some profit over the weekend because, again, I think a lot of people don't recognize with the Fed's coming up that we're going to get volatility. And again, the market likes to price in the worst case scenario. Did it do it today? If I had to guess, I would say not. But overall, I do expect, volatility and chop. As we talk about the seasonal patterns of June is typically up into the mid-June, pull back the end of the month. So again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, links just below. Again, we talk about a lot of different things in here, and mostly this is about education. Again, I'm never going to hit the enter button for your trades. If you have any questions, please reach out to a financial advisor. Get connected with someone who can help you out. Again, this is education only. And again, what I'm trying to do is empower people on their own. This channel is for free. It's fun. And again, for me, I'm doing my trading. So many people ask me what I'm up to. Again, I used to manage money, not really into that. I just like having my own freedom to do as I may. So again, if you want to join the Discord room, links in the description below. Appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you'd like to donate, there's a link in the description below. You also can donate on YouTube. If you'd like to chat, use the link 30 minutes Calendly. Let me see how I can help you, educate you, whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate. Again, if you were looking to buy and sell real estate anyone's country, I'd love to be involved. You get 2 agents for the price of 1. I would refer you out to my great referral network. Love to help out. So again, follow posting ideas, thoughts on Twitter. Also, again, education series, 52 videos. Again, not maybe the highest quality of video, but again, it's just about the content of what you're learning. Again, I think when the student is ready, the teacher appears. If you're looking for help, again, there's anything out there. And a lot of it talks about the bigger patterns within the market. Because again, as much as I like to think day trading is the best way to make money, I tell people it's not. It's swing trading. Again, big trades, big positions based on big movements. Now, again, we manage positions along the way, so there is some sort of intraday trading. But again, the education is there. Also, too, I was talking to Sour Jim today. Again, a lot of you guys don't know I do coaching now, also mindset. Again, I think abundance is always unlocked within first. You have to feel abundant. Again, I see a lot of traders who are not very good at managing their emotions. Again, this was the game changer for me. Once this stuff changed, again, trading became so much easier because, again, the emotions around it were taken out. Again, the market's going to do what it's going to do. I don't have strong opinions, meaning like I don't determine what the market's going to do. I'm just following it. And if you can do that, trading is simple, as we talk about. Trading is simple. Executing trades isn't. Again, check out the website, tradingagent.com. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We know the fear and greed index was in the 60s. What was it? What did it close at today? Imagine it got more. Yeah, it's still up pretty high. Again, I don't really get too concerned unless we're extreme fear, extreme greed, but doesn't mean you can get a 3 to 5% pullback at any point. So be careful out there. We know going into next week, we have a Fed meeting. There is basically zero chance they're going to do anything. I tell people this all the time. If the Fed fund futures is over 0.63 or 63%, they're more than likely going to do it. They're not in the game to surprise the market. And at this point, it's at 3%. Again, I'd be looking more. July is starting to pick up. September is really when it is. And again, this is where I expect this is going to be a choppy summer, right? You got the big bounce, choppy summer. Be careful out there. Again, for me, I love it because, again, the strategy is always to look for the winners in the summer. Play those. There's going to be a lot of names that don't go anywhere. They consolidate. Again, we'll talk about as we go through. Again, if you guys have been following the channel, you know what I like. Bitcoin, again, I don't like crypto. Again, not that I don't like it. Again, I think it's all trading vehicles. It's just at this point, Bitcoin, again, if you ever look at the returns, it did better than the tulip bubble. Not to say they can't do better, but at this point, I'm not going to chase up here. Again, if you are bullish and you've been holding from the better levels, great. Hell yeah, cool, awesome sauce. I would be watching for the 110. If you can get over 110, you're good. If not, it looks like a consolidation phase. That, and again, these consolidation phases, look at this. It went from March to November. you can get an 8-9 month consolidation easy. If you watch the IWM, which is my favorite, small caps are my favorite long-term investment strategy to buy and hold. They've been in a trading range for 5 years. I'll show you again if you want. Oil, bounce on the Middle East stuff, not surprisingly. It's got to put the Feds in a pickle. We'll see what happens here. Will it sustain up? Natural gas, again, I like natural gas long-term, but I'd really like to see it at lower prices. All right, let's get into it. The dollar, I talk about this all the time. The dollar doesn't really, I don't really pay attention to it too much. We see the general trend, but now we're in a chop zone. I'm looking for dollar volatility. You would think actually the dollar would be up more today. Geopolitical risk, but not so much. Bonds, again, watching the bond market, not necessarily trading it. I don't think, again, if you're familiar with this product, the TLT, it's longer dated bonds. Again, I'd like to see this hold if you want to see the market rally. But again, you can't see rally with interest rates high. I mean, a lot of people, again, this old dog does remember when interest rates were usually between what they are now, always. So it's not that, they're not that high historically. VIX, as we talked about, was compressing. We talked about too on Monday, you knew something was going on. We talked about Trump and then we're talking about Iran and all this stuff. Well, here you go. You got the expression of such pop. We talked about the VIX, and remember the VIVIX bottoms first, tops first typically. Talked about the VIX was playing a little trap here. Again, we went short. Man, and again, people are like, oh, you're crushing. It's like sometimes it's luck. It's just going with the flow. We talked about I took all my profits in all my other positions and hedged in my stock accounts and options account. I started buying puts. Got paid today. Took a lot of them off. We'll see what happens here. Again, I'm not trying to get crazy here. Again, shorting is never a long-term investment, right? I do like shorting though. I don't care. I'm indifferent. We talked about how the VIVIX, again, made a higher low. When I see that, I typically go, ugh, especially with volatility around the corner. SPY, we talked about this, was you get these kind of moves, right? After up, and then in the seasonality, if you go again, I apologize, I don't have the seasonality chart, but again, if you have the Stock Traders Almanac, you know this for a fact. Starting mid-June, you typically get a pullback. Now, how big will it be? It doesn't necessarily have to be big. It could be consolidation. I just don't see it as continuing higher near term. And a lot of people are going to get chopped out, which that happens. Again, some summers are a little better than others, but again, I'm trying to see if you even saw it. And here you go. You had a June pullback, but here it is. Like, so even the end of June, here it was. You had, what was it, 10 days, 8 days of just chopping around. That's the best case scenario in my opinion. After this big move, I would not be surprised if we came back and retested either some high or low, or somewhere around this 580 area on the SPY. But I'm not going crazy. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell myself it can happen, because we could also take out new highs and pull back, or we chop until the FOMC. We're starting to get that. And again, if you haven't watched the video on how to trade the first 2 days before the FOMC meetings, check it out. Again, if you want the cliff notes on it, it's don't trade. It's literally just don't trade. Be careful. Again, or just expect small moves. Again, no one's going to go nuts and put on big positions before the Fed meeting, essentially, right? They're waiting for them to say. QQQ, as we talked about, again, overbought, broken the 8 and 10 day. Again, I like tech short more than any other sector by a million. Again, the overweightedness in this sector in tech is just nuts. Because again, when the money comes out, people don't understand. Money's not destroyed, it rotates. And that's where I'm believing it's going to go into industrials, commodities. It's already shown with gold, but again, you're going to see a lot of the material sectors, XLB, and those commodity names start cooking at some point. I mean, I saw that. I've seen these cycles rotate. Again, if you've been trading for 20 plus years, leave a comment below. You know what I'm talking about. After the dot-com bubble, all that money went into commodities and they acted like dot-com stocks. And again, that's what happens if we get a rotation. IWM, again, I love small caps. People are like, why do you like him? Okay, here you go. Just zoom out. 5 years of just absolute nothing. And again, if you believe that Trump is going to try to reciprocate or get all the money, not reciprocate, repatriate all the money back to the United States, again, if we talked about going heavy as fudge down here, yeah, which we did. We got everybody in, basically. And now, I said, watch the 200-day. We got the alarm. You can see there, 215. And, okay, let it chop around. Nothing wrong with it. Again, consolidation. High and tight would be ideal. DIA, again, DIA's tough because it's got UNH and Boeing, and they're all acting like shit. And so, again, I don't really follow it out. Just my opinion. Gold, keep an eye on it. Again, I've talked about this for a while. Gold, right? If you have been watching old videos, we talked about this, was going nuts. And now, again, we talk about second quarter seasonal weakness in gold. I've been trading gold for 23 fucking years. Every second quarter is typically seasonally choppy or weak. It's kind of like knowing that the end of June and the market's choppy. Look at this. Tops in early April. We've gone basically nowhere. We retested the high. Now, I'm not saying we can't make new highs, but if this was like December through March, which I'm always bullish, end of December. I mean, every year it looks like this. Here, look at this, guys. Mid December always makes a run into February, March. Every fucking year, you can basically bet on it. Heavy. And again, second quarter is usually a consolidation phase, so not surprised. Silver broke out. Again, I like silver. Again, if you guys know me, I've been stacking coins for a long time. That's how old I am. Broke out. Again, I just have this. Again, I stick to my rules. I could be wrong here, but I don't trust the gold miner sector. Now, again, geopolitical risk obviously comes, but here's the thing: if peace breaks out, the stuff is going to get absolutely blasted. Again, I'm not saying that we can't go higher. Again, I love this song long term. I think by the end of the year, it'll be higher. No surprise, but again, some of these names seem to be lagging. I mean, miners typically lead first. AG, again, finally woke up. We talked about this one. There's some names down here that are just cooking. Again, I like commodities on pullbacks. Newmont, we've talked about, needs to get over this 58 area, getting back up to there. Now, again, could these all rally? They absolutely could. Again, I just don't like chasing highs going against seasonal forces because I've done that. And when you get burned so many times, you don't get cooked again. Let's get into tech because I think this is the easiest shorts out there. Taiwan Semi, we talked about it potentially peaking last week. There you go. Micron hits up into the top of its blue range, 0.382 old Fibby Fib. Again, if you zoom out, you can see what I'm talking about. It's like a bigger, oh shit. You can see it's the start of here to up here. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. But my point being is you can see this blue zone matters. Again, it's the top of the VAP zone. If you don't know what the VAP is, it's volume at price. Keep an eye on it. Again, I wouldn't short necessarily like AMD and some of the other laggards. We talk about AMD hitting the 200-day, not sure. I like NVIDIA. $3.5 trillion market cap. Sales and growth rates have gone negative, right? They're going up 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% growth every year. Now it's 40, 30, projecting lower. So again, to me, this is the short of 2025. Again, I could be wrong. We talked about shorting this yesterday and the day before. We definitely did. Took some profits today. Again, I know there's some speculation that there's going to be some stuff included with the Tesla drop of their taxis and whatnot and using their chips. Fine. But if you saw yesterday, they basically gave guidance and they said, we're not going to be including China anymore. Interesting. Again, we'll see what happens here. Again, set your stops. Don't follow me blindly. SMCI. Again, let me just end it with this. Again, took some profit today on NVIDIA. Closed above the 8 and 10 day. Again, any pop, I'm looking to add more. SMCI, managing positions. Again, you have to remember the first drop off a high gets bought. Just remember that every fucking time, okay? SMCI, chopping around. Intellectual property. Again, we talked about this is a big trading range. If it ever gets bought out, it's going to be somewhere in this 20s. I don't think it has much value. AVGO, we talked about this as well. I mean, again, you hear a lot of talking about breaking out, coming back, chopping around for earnings. Again, Apple is not going to be using the products. They're basically duplicating it, so I don't trust AVGO. We'll see if they can figure it out. SMH, we talked about why we were shorting the Soxel up here. Bada boom, bada bing, makes sense. Here's the resistance zone. Again, tight stops. If you're wrong, it's easy. It's very binary. I like simple. I'm not trying to figure out the world. I don't need to. I just want to do what the market's doing. Adobe, that earnings, we talked about being careful going into earnings. Hit the 50-day. Okay, cool. Apple, I've been on record for a long time. It seems like for weeks saying, leave this fucking thing alone. It's going nowhere. It's in a big consolidation pattern. Again, their growth rate, the valuation, all they're living off is the dividend and buyback. Okay, if you want to buy the stock because of that, go right ahead. It's a behemoth. I'm not saying that Apple's going out of business or they're going to struggle, but usually tech doesn't do well in the third quarter. Well, we're about to get to the third quarter. And guess what? I don't want to own it. That's just that simple. Amazon, again, I would just leave it alone. Hits the range, backs off. Meta, we talked about buying this thing down in the freaking 480s. I know some of y'all wrote it up to 700. We talked about taking, again, the higher you run, the more profit you take, right? We talked about this was an inflection point. Now you got it. Congratulations. I'm not saying it can't go higher. Again, I don't trust tech as much, but it's been a nice run. CRM, we talked about this one being all over the fucking place. I struggle with it. Since the double top, I don't know. Guggenheim, we talked about this again. All the Congress folks are buying it. But again, their earnings, I mean, Google search, again, anyway, everyone's using Chat GPT and AI. I'll see again. Again, I'm not going to, I hate fundamentals trying to pick why, because the why usually presents itself later. We'll see what happens here. Microsoft made new highs. It's been holding up pretty well. Keep an eye on it. NDAQ again. I love the short of the Nasdaq composite exchange long term. We talked about it, little blow off top up here. Keep an eye on it. I don't have a position on it again because it broke out, so I don't want to get too nutty. But if it comes back within here, then it's a bull trap, and this thing could get. Then you could start playing some games. It could be like a megaphone pattern if you're familiar. I don't even want to draw it right now. No position, but worth a watch. MicroStrategy again. If you like Bitcoin, this thing seems to be lagging. I mean, if you looked at two directors this week, keep an eye on this. In MicroStrategy, both sold their entire positions in stock. Someone always knows something. Netflix, again, just no position, but whatever. We talked about this one breaking out or kind of just rallying up into the first and last 3 business days of the month. Window markup, now it's lagging. Again, I tried to short it too early, got caught. My hands in the cookie jar, I lose. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm watching it though. I'd like to see it pop. Roblox, we talked about this one at 25. I sit here and cry in my cereal. Just not making new highs, or it just keeps making new highs. We talked about this bottom. We talked about that bottom. For some reason, just haven't gone back to it again. I was calling it pedo blocks because they got busted for a little bit. Hey, man, you don't short just to short, right? The Palantir folks have gotten their asses kicked. I mean, there's certain stocks you just got to be careful. CrowdStrike, again, we like cybersecurity. Keep an eye on this one. It's riding the channel high. Again, sometimes you break. Again, you try to break out, back off, and then you go. We'll see. I mean, some of these names with like these higher price stocks with lower liquidity, they can get nutty. PanW is another one we like. Tesla was not surprised when it pulled back. Thought we'd hold the 270s. We did. Talked about how the 20-day is now curling down. Again, I could be dead wrong on this, but everyone bought because of robo-taxi. Who else is left to buy? We saw how retail flows into Tesla was absolutely fucking humongous at this point. Not saying it can't go higher. I'm not involved in this. We talked about you could have traded it down here. Nice trade if you bought 273.30 plus. Be careful. All right, let's get into some of these other random names that we always go through. Palantir, again, this one's holding up pretty well. Again, they have endless contracts with the government for a lot of the stuff that's going on. Somebody likes it. Insight, we talked about, you bought this one in the mid 50s. Feeling pretty good. Again, they're going to get bought out at some point, in my opinion. Just be careful. HIMS, as we've talked about, I don't trust HIMS at all. I think anyone can come and make a new HIMS or HERS at any point. Keep an eye on it. Some people are saying it's a cup and handle. I have no position in it. Again, we talked about this one holding the 200-day. Got the bounce. Now what? Good question. Baba, like to see this near the 110 area. We talked about like being very patient. We did not grab it here. Got the pop. I'd like to see it around the 200-day. That would be, 110, 200-day if you're going to play it. McDonald's, not loving it. But it's interesting. Got a double downgrade 2 days ago and rally back. Again, I hate when brokers downgrade and then upgrade at the wrong times. They do it all the time because they get retail. Again, knowing how this game works, again, they want to sell you position, they're going to upgrade. If they want to buy your position, they're going to downgrade it. So the double downgrade, not surprised it bounces back. Look at that. Starbucks, try to speed this up. We talked about this one, buying this one at the 70s. Talked about missing the 50-day. Again, I need to update the fib, clearly. Let's erase it. Got the pump. Was like, fuck, I think it's going to break here. There it goes. Hits the 100, 200-day moving averages, backing off at this point. I can't chase it. Airbnb, I don't chase. I let trades come to me, and I miss trades all the time. But when I let trades come to me, I have a winning percentage in the 80% range. Why the fuck would I change anything? Again, if you start chasing, I can tell you chase, your win percentage goes down. Airbnb, chopping around. Coinbase, again, I like the idea that there's crypto. Coinbase, again, the exchange, again, I just don't think they're the one, right? I think Robinhood is probably a better investment. DKNG, we talked about, is going to be choppy for the summer. Costco, interesting, a lower high. This thing's been on a monster run. If you go zoom out, it's up 1,000% plus. Now it's consolidating. I don't have a position on it. We talked about it pulling back. You got the pullback. Now you got the lower high. It's going to be in a big chop zone, in my opinion. FedEx, if you bought this in the 215 area, you made some green. Again, it's not really looking that exciting. XLF. All right, we talked about you can't expect the market to really roll over until financials break the 20-day. You have the XLF breaking the 20-day. Now, again, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're come crashing down, but this is the weakness I wanted to see. Again, financials typically lead the market. Hood. All right, we like this one holding up pretty well. Again, but overbought. Could it get pulled down? JP Morgan, we talked about 20-day, 20-day, 20-day. How many videos? We're at it. That's where it's a little sneaky here. You go, okay, well, what's going to happen next week? That's the key. Typically, financials, if they've run up a whole quarter going into earnings, they typically pull back before earnings. Morgan Stanley breaking the 20-day, Bank of America, right, breaking the 20-day, Goldman Sachs breaking holding it basically. And then KRE, we talked about it's really hard to trust the market's going to break down if KRE is holding up. Well, guess what? It hits the fucking 200-day. Boink. backing off. Jets, again, even the Jets get a W, but if oil prices are going higher, people were shorting the shit out of this earlier in the week. Someone knew something. Someone always does, right? Pulling back, because if oil goes higher, right, there go their profits. XHB, chopping around. Again, don't really trust housing. I'm in housing, and I can tell you right now it's weak, but keep an eye on it. Again, it's choppy. Let's get into material names. XLB. All right. I'm trying to speed this up. It's already 20 minutes. Hitting the 200-day. Again, I like commodities, waiting for the backup. I'd be watching this 84 area. Your friend Dow was up early this morning, gave it back. Again, I like these names on pullbacks. We've talked about how you could have traded these aggressively. The options are so fucking cheap on these. CE, again, broke out, gave it back in. We talked about harvesting profits, waiting for the seasonal weakness. Caterpillar, again, I'm not really in this one, but watching it at the 200-day. Deere's been a beast, holding up, breaking the 20-day, so a little meh. Steel, again, we like steel. We like commodities, you name it. I like it. If it can hurt your foot and you drop it on your foot, it hurts. Like it. Seems to be chopping around. X, again, another getting bought out. No position. IIN broke the downtrend and channel. Now it's consolidating. High and tight would be nothing wrong. Again, looking for pullbacks. Valet, again, we're talking about like some of these names are just ready. Again, look at you'll see some of them have bigger, vast volume capitulation potential. Again, this one needs to get over the 200-day. I'd be watching the 9 area. Again, I have alerts on a lot of these names. I have a notepad of all of them. Arrow, we talked about taking profits today. Again, if you bought this in the 9, you got the almost double dipper to 17. Talking about watching this 14 area. FQVLF, this one's been chopping in range from 12 to 15, got over 15 or 10 to 15, and now it's kind of consolidating again. A rising tide will lift all boats. That worth chop. SCCO, again, we like Southern Copper, consolidated under the 200-day. A lot of these copper names look ready to go at some point. It's just they've had some nice moves. They're consolidating. They're playing the game. Again, if you can see these on pullbacks, gift. Again, URNJ, we like uranium. Absolutely. Again, keep an eye on these ones. I love these consolidations. You get a nice move, pullback, you blow out up real quick, and now you chop and you get everybody going, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. If you can just wait for a pullback, you might get hit the lotto. Again, Okla, we were talking about this one. Again, look at this. We like CCJ, again, we like uranium names. We've talked about them, holding up really well. Got away for pullback. CF, again, we like ag. We've talked about ag. Boom. These names have been crushing the market versus some of these tech names. Look at this. Going nuts. Again, I just can't chase these unless you have positions. Manage them. Mosaic. I wouldn't be surprised if someone pull back. Lithium, SQM, I like this one a lot. We talked about this one buying the pro gap here at 31, riding it up to 34, hit the 50-day. Here we go. Come back and consolidate. Give me some consolidation. I'll reload the fudge out of this thing. People don't recognize it does multiple. It's done 70% corrections multiple times in its history. Boom, boom, boom. Here's a big one. Again, you believe in lithium. You need lithium for everything. Keep an eye on it. NTR, this one broke out today. Again, ag names acting well. You're welcome. We talk about these big-ass bases. Here you go. Aluminum, again, we love AA a big time. Keep an eye on this one. We've been trading this one aggressively, right? Keep an eye on it. Not surprised we hit the 30-29 area. It's old support, resistance, right? Here's a good. The VAP zone, back it off. Okay. Dude, I would love to see channel low 50-day. And then I'll pound it again. And people don't recognize, like some of these, again, look at some of these names, where they come from. You really zoom out and you go, huh, okay. Again, at the bottom, they don't ring bells, y'all. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being sleazy. Some of these names. Kalu, again, we like all this stuff. Keep an eye on it. Nice little pullback. MP, again, we like rare earth metals a fuck ton. That one held 19 perfectly. Like REMX, again, check this one out. I would love to see it pull back. How much, how deep? Don't know. But coming into resistance, don't be surprised if you get the pullback. Cliff, again, Cleveland Cliff, like Cliff. Just keep an eye on it. Again, you tight stops. These things have like minimal downside. Just zoom out. You know what I'm talking. I'm trying to speed up. All right, solar. As we talked about, we like solar on the bounce. Again, oil rising. Absolutely. Again, if tax credits come, you got it. Watch. Look at that rally back. Sedge. Again, not a fan of these names, but just watching them, making new highs. ENPH, been holding up pretty well. First Solar, I know some of the folks in the Discord room who absolutely tattooed this. We've been trading this one. I'm had a monster on this one this week. I said every big red candle's always been followed by green. I sold that day, did not reload because of war, but 200-day, again, when you zoom out, you go, oh, fudge, they've got it potentially. So oil, again, oil popping. Again, I'm just looking at the USO. Look at that big volume today. So it could be capitulation. UNG, again, I hate this product because it decays. The KOLD was the short in the 80s. Now you're in the 20s. Again, any major pop, give it a go. XOP, as we talked about, looked like it was consolidating at the channel high. Here we go. Again, I said you cannot short these names. But here's again where I get a little concerned. Oil and gas, led by gasoline. The gasoline names are right up against their old range highs or consolidating. They don't look that great, but we'll see what happens here. Do they catch the pump later? We talked about ExxonMobil. If you bought this at the beginning of the week at the 100 level, nice work. Said 110 was coming. 112. Sorry, you got extra 2 points. BP, again, you have to trade these names, but also recognize we still believe they're higher. That's why I keep telling folks, if you're not trading them, disappear. They're going to go higher in time, in my opinion. Occidental Buffett ain't going to lose on this one. Keep an eye on it. Again, I'm hoping for pullbacks. We'll see. Pat Devin looking all right. Apache, keep an eye on this. Again, a lot of names we've liked waiting for pull. We got some pullbacks and we traded some around them, but these are going. Again, it's sometimes, again, just you have to remember, there will be pullbacks. Lyondell base looks good. CVE, again, we like this one in the 13 level. Nice little pop up to 15. EQT, again, I think will be natural gas exporters, as we talked about. A lot of these trade deals will work that up. This name has already been holding and cooking at the high, and Flex LNG, again, is a natural gas exporter. All right, if you have any questions, I always tell you, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm pretty accessible. If I don't answer, it's because I'm busy. I will get back as soon as I can. Again, I appreciate you guys, all the love, support, generous donations. Have a wonderful weekend. Let's connect. Hit me up if you have questions. Do it right, man. And also, let me end it with this. Be careful with next week, because again, if the war stuff, we'll see if it continues again. It usually prices in quickly, but the Fed is the fucking wild card. Those guys could throw a wrench in this thing real hard. All right, peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.